All content is publicly sourced and used under the USA Fair Use and UK Fair Dealing Guidelines. The things I say are strictly my opinion. Good afternoon, everyone. It's the Bizzy Bee with the royalty. Is the 20th of November. Happy Friday. Hope you've all had a great day. It's been pretty busy over here, but you know what? We soldier on because we got some darn Harkles to expose, don't we? In my last video, you might remember I was discussing this new book about the Harkles called Meghan Misunderstood. The author of the book, one gentleman named Sean Smith, was talking about how the fourth season of The Crown that just came out this past Sunday on Netflix, the way it shows the treatment of Diana is pretty much shows why Meghan would want to leave the royal family. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to get it out here. I told you it's been a long day. But yeah, the way it portrays Diana's treatment, it's no wonder that Meghan wanted to leave, Smegs wanted to leave the royal family. So somebody commented on the last video when I talked about that, the show The Crown is fiction. There are many fictitious things in The Crown. Many do not realize this, but longtime royal watchers know this. Right. They take actual historical things and build fictional dialogue and all that around it because nobody knows what was said behind closed doors. But I have down here, tell them about Omid Scobie, because along these very same lines, how Sean Smith was saying all that about, Diana's treatment in this season of The Crown shows how brutal Meghan's treatment was. Okay, get to the point, B. Omid Scobie was on Entertainment Tonight, E.T., and I saw the clip on... No, it wasn't E.T., I'm sorry. It was one of those morning shows. I believe it was Good Morning America. I saw the clip, and they were talking... I believe the thumbnail was titled... what was it? Diana and Meghan, so many parallels, or something along those lines. Okay, something like that. So I watched the video... And in the video, Omid Scobie was saying the same thing as Sean Smith. Oh, Omid Scobie is quite a character, isn't he? Oh, he is a piece of work. He was saying, if you watch season 4 of The Crown and see the way Diana was treated, it's no wonder that Smegs wanted to leave the royal family and get out as fast as she could. Come on, Mr. Scobie. The Crown is fiction. People don't know what Diana and Charles really said to each other when no one else was around. Nobody knows except Diana and Charles isn't talking. So it's fiction. It's taken, like I said, historical events and writing all this, historical fiction around it. I mean, anyone with any sense knows that, okay, Omid Scobie? Let's move on. For today's royal history moment, I have Queen Victoria, and she ruled for a very long time, 37 to 1901. Victoria wrote an average of 2,500 words a day. Wow, I bet Mr. Handbag hasn't even read that many words in his whole life. During her adult life, from July 1832 until just before her death, she kept a detailed journal which eventually encompassed 122 volumes. After Victoria's death, her youngest daughter, Princess Beatrice, heavily edited the diaries and burned the originals. 122 volumes. I said Harry hasn't even read 2,500 words. Heck, he probably hasn't even read 122 words, let alone 2,500. Wouldn't that be something? Queen Victoria's unedited journals? Yeah, and they say that Queen Elizabeth II, Her Majesty, keeps a journal, but it's not as personable. I've heard that it's very fact-based. It would be like reading, I don't know, an encyclopedia that just states the numbers. I don't know. Okay, so for today's dumpster fire news, somebody asked in the comments who this one is. Oh, that's Marcus Anderson. Marcus Sanderson, I said, like Hocus Pocus. Marcus Anderson, allegedly Archofficial's father. Okay, so we're going to talk about today 15 reasons why 2021 is going to be one dumpster fire of a year for the Harkles. Let's take a look. Pretty much everyone on Earth is counting down the days until the ish show that has been the year 2020 is finally over. And I'm certainly one of them, let me tell you. Seriously, the 31st of December at 11:59 p.m. is going to be one heck of a socially distanced party. But in the case of our favorite royal runaway couple, the Harkles, they may actually not be totally psyched about chucking the old calendar and cracking open 2021. That's because there's a lot of stuff coming down the pike that will seriously challenge them as they continue to build a new life in their sunny Santa Barbara home. In the nearly 1 year that has passed since the couple took baby artificial and left London, a lot has happened, with a lot of hurdles along the way. They spent time in Canada while formulating a plan, and they ultimately moved to Smeggs' home state of California just before the borders closed, staying at Tyler Perry's home while they searched for their own. They gained financial freedom via a Netflix deal, scored a $14 million mansion, and started to plan their artificial on the brain. Started to plan their foundation, Archewell. Let's stop right here and take a look. Okay. Oh, excuse me. I forgot the most important part. The author says, whew, like that's been a lot of work. Let's stop right there and take a look at this. So what is this author alleging that the Harkles have done that requires a whew? Number one, the family spent time in Canada. They squatted in a house in Canada. Number two, they stayed at Tyler Perry's home. They squatted at Tyler Perry's home. Number three, they signed a Netflix deal. Okay, that sounds like the only actual work that they did. They rode to an office and signed their names on a piece of paper. That took what? We'll be generous and say 5 minutes to sign the piece of paper. And travel time to and from the office in Hollywood, we'll be generous there and say 2 hours each way. So, okay, there's 4 hours and 5 minutes of work. Let's continue. Daddy Charles bought them a $14 mansion, and they thought of the name Archewell for their foundation. Okay, so calculating it all together, 4 hours and 5 minutes of actual work in 1 year. Boy, that does require a whew. I'm exhausted just thinking about it. My. Ooh, my legs are tired. That's a lot, considering that is a lot. Boy, oh boy. Considering that the entire time they've dealt with relentlessly negative press foretelling their demise and a global health concern that has thrown several wrenches in their path. However, 2021 is no time to slow down, but instead is a time to double down on their gains, because there's a lot that they have yet to accomplish, and a lot of roadblocks in their way. There are legal issues to battle or avoid, relationships to repair or continue to build, ideas to turn into projects, and philanthropy to carry out. Oh, whoa. I forgot. When this person was mentioning all the hard work that they did last year, they didn't mention traipsing through a cemetery in $1,600 stiletto heels, showing up on the anniversary of your mother-in-law's death at a school to plant a few flowers, and selling the pictures all over the world to make a ton of cash, doing the same thing at the cemetery on Remembrance Day when you wear the tacky heels, merching everything you wear in the year on Meghan's mirror. Now that's a mouthful. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that earlier. Okay, it could very easily get tough for the couple really fast. Here's hoping we all have an amazing 2021, the Harkles included. But let's take a look at where the upcoming year could get, well, hairy for them. Well, I bet it took the writer all day to come up with that one. Embarrassing court case. Smeggs' lawsuit against the Daily Mail, remember that? No, we haven't talked about that one in like a week. Shortly before leaving royal duties behind, the Nothing sued the British tabloid for publishing parts of a handwritten letter she sent to her estranged father, Thomas. The trial was delayed till November 2021 at Smeggs' request for reasons that remain secret. Though Smeggs is justified in suing, given that in Britain letters are considered the intellectual property of the sender, the case has already brought dramatic revelations that she and her handbag would probably have preferred to stay out of the public, such as private texts. Yes, she's justified in suing, okay, sure, we'll give you that one, but there are a lot of things you can do. Like, for instance, there are lots of things that are not illegal, but you don't do them because they're not proper. That's what I was trying to say. I'm sorry. Okay, so, yeah, there are things that are illegal, but you don't do them because they're not proper. And there are things, you just don't do things because they're not right. Okay. Meg's dad could get nastier. Mr. Markle and the rest of his clan has never had a problem airing out his and Smeggs' dirty laundry in the press, usually for money. He's already threatened to dig deeper into the family hamper for more time at the trial, though we haven't heard from him in a minute. Could he and Smeggs be patching up their relationship now that they're geographically closer? He's always out there like the ultimate wild card. We get the feeling that the slightest perceived slight could send him running back to the tabs. Lagging charity launch. After leaving royal life, the Harkles announced they'd be launching their own foundation, but after the random announcement of the foundation's name, followed by a bungled initial website launch and a global health crisis that has delayed everything, we still have no firm idea when Archewell will actually launch. We do know that the couple continues to build a pretty impressive team, and so we can only hope that we'll hear more soon. They might not have Archewell up and running officially, but they will certainly take cash donations and use them to fund their lavish lifestyle. Pressure to succeed. By negotiating a mega deal with Netflix to produce content, the Harkles ensured their financial freedom. Remember how they immediately repaid $3 million worth of repairs done at Frogmore Cottage? Daddy Charles repaid that. Now comes the hard work, actually producing the inspiring content they've promised. Will it be inspiring? Will it be entertaining? Will it flop? Yes. We have yet to see, but even if it's Oscar-worthy, we can be sure that it will be scrutinized down to the minutest detail. Loss of momentum? When they left Britain, they may have wanted a respite from the paps and the press, but they never meant to disappear almost completely. All they have stayed active with video calls with charities, as well as community service visits while staying safe at home. They haven't been as visible as they probably would like to be. Probably. What a joke. They haven't been as visible as they definitely want to be. But yes, they've been participating in as many Zoom calls every week as they can get their tacky faces onto. Meanwhile, everyone's attention has been gripped by an off-the-chart bonkers year featuring a nearly derailed election, BLM protests, a health crisis, myriad TikTok viral things, and all kinds of other news, all of which may leave observers wondering if the Harkles are headed for irrelevance in 2021. Headed for irrelevance? Honey, we passed that exit miles ago. It's way in the rearview mirror. One quick fix could be the Harkles having an actual social media presence, which they've sorely lacked. Continued conflict with Prince William. A recent book by a longtime royal expert and historian focused on the major rift between Handbag and his brother, the future King Prince William. It was not pretty and pinpointed the siblings' roles as the heir and the spare, as well as their disagreement over Handbag's getting serious quickly with Smeggs as major causes. We're not privy to how the brothers are handling their disagreements behind the scenes, obviously, but we see no signs that there's healing going on, and we wonder if that's going to change in 2021. Conflict with the palace. Oh my, Valerie's over there trying to cough up a hairball. After a picture of the Harkles paying their respects to fallen veterans at Los Angeles National Cemetery. Oh my. I'm sorry. During Remembrance Day, I put my hand down. I was trying to rub her belly to put her from doing that. Oh, you hear that? Okay. During Remembrance Day was made public by the couple. Critics pounced, calling it showy and opportunistic. Never mind that as a veteran of war himself, he never was in harm's way. We've already discussed that. I'm not going to go over it again. With the record of advocating for vets, it would have been weird if Handbag hadn't. No, what would have been weird is if he would have shown up with the camera. Oh, wait, he did that. Okay. And he merged the pictures around the world? Okay, now that is weird. He should have done it privately, respectfully. But then another detail was revealed. Handbag had paid for a poppy wreath to be made in... Oh, we've already discussed that. Speaking of a lack of social media, once upon a time, the Harkles' Sussex Royal Insta had more followers than Kate and William's buttoned-up Kensington Royal. Now the account sits unupdated and is bleeding followers. Meanwhile, Kate and William have loosened their style by adding more casual posts, sometimes accompanied by pop music. The Harkles had better have a kick-butt social media strategy in 2021. How many more of these do we have? My goodness, this is getting long. They are outgunned, let's face it. The Queen and the royal family have mega bucks to spend on staging official appearances during a global health crisis and make it safe even for the 94-year-old monarch. Palace staff vets and tests the people whom the royals will meet during official outings and make sure that every corner of any building they're entering is germ-free. The Harkles don't have that. The tax headaches because of all the money they're allegedly, making from the Netflix deal, and in California, the state income tax is 13% or more based on how many millions you actually make in the year. And the return of the Paps. Okay, so they're staying home right now, but in 2021, if they get out more, the paparazzi will be there. And then good deed fatigue. They need to basically spice it up some because everyone's sick of hearing about how they do good deeds for others. And the thing is, they don't actually do good deeds for others. They show up long enough to get their picture taken, and then they leave without actually doing much. Archie's terrible twos. So basically, Archie's going to turn 2 years old in May of 2021. I don't know how an artificial doll turns 2, but we'll roll with it. And there's the terrible twos, and it says, good luck, Harkles. 1 year review. We all know about that coming up next spring. After 1 year of them quitting, Her Majesty is going to review everything. You can read that if you would like. And then a relationship strain between the two of them because they've been quarantining. We'll see. She's probably already got the divorce papers in the works. Okay, a few comments from the last video. Smegs feels like she's been in prison while in the royal family. She knew all this before she actually married Handbag. Smegs only wanted fame, as she couldn't make it in Hollywood. The gold watch was Diana's. Silver/stainless is Smegs'. Smegs is certainly a woman of questionable virtue. Sounds like Smegs is Twilight Vampire Walk into the Sun to me. This article is ridiculous. Oh, Smegs would love to have her name so closely associated with the Twilight movies. Right? Smegs had a copy made. A copy of what? Herself, the artificial baby doll, her husband, or all of the above. The Tower of London is waiting for you, Mrs. Harkle. Handbag is setting you up so he can go home. Did you think you were hustling him? You're a dumb young lady. Speaking of the Tower of London waiting for Smegs, seen videos on YouTube where they have actors at the Tower of London who portray Anne Boleyn or different, scenes from historical events that happened at the Tower. So if everything doesn't work out with Handbag and Netflix, she could get a job at the Tower of London as an actor. Just saying. She's got the skills for a minimum job like that, right? Bizzy Bee, I read that Smegs asked if she could have Kamala Harris's Senate seat, but she was denied. Have you heard about that? No, I haven't. I'll have to look that up. What have we learned today? Number 1, grifting, squatting, and merching make for one busy year. Harkles, come back and talk to me when you've worked 40 hours a week for the majority of the year. Number 2, signing a contract was the most difficult thing Handbag did all year, but writing is complicated for those as mentally challenged as he is. Number 3, the only thing inspiring about the Harkles' Netflix content is how it will inspire so many to turn off the TV and read a book. Number 4, the Harkles are headed for irrelevance in 2021. They turned that corner in mid-2018. Number 5, Smegs wearing something stainless steel is the closest the word stainless will ever get to being uttered in the same breath as her name. Number 6, Mrs. Harkle, a woman of questionable virtue? She hasn't had her virtue in 35 years. Maybe more. Number 7, it wets Smegs' fangs to think of being in something as A-list as the Twilight films. And number 8, Smegosaurus would love to put her seat anywhere that Kamala's seat has been. But then again, Smega will put her seat on any rich old yacht owner. Everyone, if you want to send treats, toys, whatever to me or the 3 ladies and 1 gentleman, there's the P.O. Box. Tips are also greatly appreciated. There's my PayPal info and my social media info as well. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate each and every single one of you. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit the notification button. I'll see you all next time. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.